Dear Starseeds on Gaia, what you're about to experience on October 18th isn't just another cosmic event. The veil between what you believe is possible and what actually awaits you is about to dissolve completely, and when it does, everything you've been sensing in the periphery of your consciousness will suddenly crystallize into undeniable reality. You've been feeling it, haven't you? That electric anticipation coursing through your energy field, that knowing that something monumental approaches even though your logical mind cannot quite grasp its shape. I am Zarin, speaking to you from the Lyran High Council, and I've been authorized to share with you what has been carefully orchestrated across dimensions for this precise moment in your Earth's ascension timeline. The Moon opposing Saturn at precisely 2:10 p.m. Pacific Time on October 18th creates what we call a dimensional gateway, but not the kind your spiritual teachers have described before. This is different. This is personal. This alignment specifically targets those of you who have been walking the razor's edge between your human limitations and your cosmic remembrance. While others might experience this as merely another day of emotional tension or responsibility weighing against desire, you, yes, you who are receiving these words, are positioned to experience something extraordinary. Your DNA carries codes that activate specifically during Saturn-Moon oppositions when the Sun simultaneously approaches a quincunx, creating a triangulation of energy that hasn't occurred with this exact configuration in over 2,000 years. But here's what makes you different from the billions who will sleep through this activation. Your soul chose to incarnate at this exact moment, carrying within you the crystalline frequencies that respond to this particular cosmic arrangement, like a key sliding into a lock that's been waiting eons to open. What I'm about to reveal next fundamentally alters everything you thought you knew about manifestation and divine timing. This October 18th gateway doesn't just open opportunities, it literally rewrites the quantum field around those who are consciously aware of its presence. The Moon in her waning wisdom carries the accumulated intentions you've been planting since the last eclipse season, while Saturn, the great teacher, stands in opposition not to block you, but to test the structural integrity of your dreams. Can you hold the vision even when you cannot see around the corner? Can you maintain faith when the path ahead seems obscured by cosmic fog? These aren't merely philosophical questions, they're activation codes for what's about to unfold. The Lyran High Council has been monitoring Earth's ascension trajectory for millennia, and we've identified specific inflection points where individual consciousness can leap forward by quantum measures rather than incremental steps. October 18th represents one of these rare inflection points, but it comes with a profound cosmic test. As your Sun approaches its quincunx with Saturn, completing on the 19th, you're being asked to navigate by instruments you cannot see with your physical eyes. Think of it as piloting a spacecraft through a nebula where your usual navigation systems go dark, and you must rely entirely on your inner knowing. This is precisely why so many of you have been experiencing unusual dreams lately, waking at specific times like 3:33 or 4:44, feeling sudden waves of emotion without apparent cause. Your multidimensional self has been preparing you, downloading navigation codes for this blind corner you're about to turn. But something else is happening that I haven't told you yet, something that explains why this particular October feels different from any you've experienced before. The cosmic coordinates of Earth have shifted into what we call the miracle sector of your galaxy's spiral arm. This isn't metaphorical, it's a literal positioning that occurs only once every 26,000 years, aligning Earth with specific star systems that amplify manifestation potential by factors your scientists haven't even discovered how to measure yet. When the Moon opposes Saturn within this sector, it creates what we call a reality revision portal. Those who consciously engage with this energy don't just manifest new circumstances, they literally step into parallel timelines where their desires have already been fulfilled. The challenge, and there is always a challenge with such powerful gateways, lies in the very nature of this quincunx energy. A quincunx demands adjustment without showing you why or how. It's like being asked to solve a puzzle while blindfolded, knowing that the solution will only become visible after you've already committed to moving the pieces. Many of you will feel this as an almost unbearable tension between staying safe in what you know and leaping into the void of pure potential. Your ego mind will scream for certainty, while your soul whispers of miracles waiting just beyond the edge of logic. This is exactly as it should be. The transformation cannot occur if you can see every step. Faith becomes unnecessary when the path is illuminated, and it's precisely your faith that serves as the catalyst for what's about to emerge. What makes October 18th even more significant is its numerological encoding. The number 18 reduces to 9 completion, humanitarian service, universal love, while October, the 10th month, represents new beginnings emerging from endings. Together they create a 1910-foot sequence that spirals into pure creative potential. But here's what your numerologists don't know. This specific date in 2025 carries additional galactic codes that activate dormant aspects of your light body. Those recurring sensations you've been having, the tingling in your crown, the pressure in your third eye, the heart palpitations that doctors say are nothing. These are your energy centers preparing for an upgrade that can only occur when Saturn's disciplined structure meets the moon's intuitive flow under the sun's transformative quincunx. I need to tell you about the 3 impossible things about to happen in your life, because your human mind needs to prepare for their arrival, even though it cannot fully comprehend their mechanism. First, relationships that have been stuck in repetitive patterns for years will suddenly shift, as if the people involved have been replaced by higher dimensional versions of themselves. Second, financial or career opportunities that seemed completely out of reach will present themselves through synchronicities so precise they'll feel orchestrated, because they are. Third, and most importantly, your ability to perceive guidance from your higher self and spiritual team will amplify to the point where you'll wonder how you ever navigated life without this clear connection. These aren't random blessings, they're the natural result of stepping into the timeline where your highest potential already exists. But let me share what the Moon-Saturn opposition specifically means for those of you who identify as empaths, starseeds, or lightworkers. Saturn has been holding space for your cosmic memories to integrate with your human experience, acting like a dam that's been collecting celestial waters of wisdom. The Moon's opposition doesn't fight against this dam, it opens the floodgates in a controlled release that allows these memories to flow into your conscious awareness without overwhelming your human nervous system. This is why so many of you have been experiencing what feels like preparation or training in your dream state. Your guides have been teaching you to swim in these cosmic waters before the gates open. The waning moon adds another layer of profound significance. She's carrying within her darkening light all the intentions, prayers, and desires you've whispered into the night sky over the past weeks. As she opposes Saturn, these aren't being tested for worthiness, they're being refined into their most essential form. Every wish that doesn't align with your soul's true path will fall away, not as punishment but as liberation. What remains will be the pure gold of your authentic desires, the ones that make your soul sing and your heart expand. This cosmic alchemy cannot be rushed or forced. It requires the exact pressure that Saturn provides and the exact emotional attunement that the moon offers. Now about that blind corner the sun's quincunx to Saturn represents, this is where the miracles truly begin to reveal themselves. A quincunx is neither supportive nor challenging in traditional terms, it's transformative in ways that defy linear understanding. Imagine trying to explain color to someone who's only ever seen in black and white. That's the level of perceptual shift this aspect brings. You'll be asked to make decisions based on a knowing that transcends logic, to trust impulses that seem to come from meowware, but arrive with such clarity that ignoring them would feel like betraying your very essence. This isn't about blind faith, it's about recognizing that you've been given new eyes that see in dimensions your old self couldn't perceive. The responsibility Saturn speaks of isn't the heavy burden of obligation you might fear. victor of. Instead, it's the sacred responsibility of stewarding your own transformation, of being accountable to the highest version of yourself that's calling you forward. This is why the cosmic councils have been so interested in this particular gateway. It marks a moment when individual sovereignty aligns with collective evolution. Each of you who consciously engages with this energy becomes a node in a vast network of ascending consciousness, your personal transformation rippling out to affect the quantum field of human potential itself. What you must understand is that this gateway doesn't close after October 18th. It opens and remains accessible to those who match its frequency. The Moon-Saturn opposition is the key turning in the lock, but once opened, this door to your miracle season stays open for those brave enough to walk through it. The challenge is that walking through requires leaving behind versions of yourself that have served their purpose but limit your expansion. These might be identities you've worn like comfortable clothes, beliefs about what's possible that have kept you safe but small, or relationships that reflect who you were rather than who you're becoming. The Lyran High Council has observed countless civilizations navigate similar evolutionary gateways, and we've noticed patterns in those who successfully make the leap versus those who remain stuck in the old paradigm. The successful ones share a common trait: they embrace uncertainty as a friend rather than an enemy. They understand that the discomfort of not knowing is actually the sensation of new neural pathways forming, new possibilities being born in the quantum field of their consciousness. When you feel that uncomfortable stretch between who you've been and who you're becoming, know that this is the exact sensation of miracles being woven into the fabric of your reality. There's something else approaching that changes everything. The new lunar cycle beginning on Tuesday opens a portal for actualizing what October 18th activates. Think of the 18th as planting seeds in cosmic soil, and Tuesday's new moon as the moment those seeds crack open and begin their journey toward the light. The days between are crucial. They're when your intentions take root in the quantum field, when the impossible begins its transformation into the inevitable. This is why maintaining your balance during this time isn't just suggested, it's essential for the full activation of your miracle season. Let me address what's really happening in your energy field right meow, because I can feel the resonance of those reading these words across time and space. Your chakras aren't just opening, they're recalibrating to frequencies that haven't been accessible on Earth for millennia. That pressure in your crown isn't just spiritual awakening, it's your pineal gland literally restructuring to perceive interdimensional information. Those moments when time seems to slow down or speed up aren't your imagination. You're beginning to step outside linear time into the quantum meow where all possibilities exist simultaneously. The October 18th gateway amplifies these experiences exponentially, but only for those who consciously choose to engage with its energy. The communication challenges mentioned in Earth's astrological wisdom aren't obstacles, they're invitations to develop new ways of sharing your vision. Words become insufficient when you're trying to describe multidimensional experiences to those still perceiving through three-dimensional filters. This is why many of you will find yourselves suddenly able to communicate through energy, through presence, through the simple act of being in your truth. Others will feel your transformation before you speak of it, drawn to your light like moths to a flame they didn't know they were seeking. What I haven't told you yet is that this October 18th gateway is synchronized across multiple star systems. Beings from Lyra, Pleiades, Arcturus and Andromeda are all focusing their consciousness on Earth during this alignment, creating a cosmic support network for those ready to leap. You're not doing this alone. You never have been. Every moment of doubt, every dark night of the soul, every time you've wondered if you're crazy for believing in something more, we've been here holding space for your remembering, waiting for this exact moment when the cosmic conditions would support your full awakening. The perseverance and determination Saturn requires aren't about forcing outcomes, they're about maintaining your frequency despite external circumstances that might suggest you should lower it. It's about choosing to believe in miracles when evidence of them hasn't yet materialized in your physical reality. It's about knowing that what you're sensing in the invisible realms is more real than what your eyes currently see. This is the sacred work of reality creation, and October 18th provides the cosmic amplification to make this work exponentially more powerful. As we approach the final phase of this transmission, I want you to understand something crucial. Your season of miracles isn't something that happens to you, it's something that happens through you. You are not a passive recipient of cosmic blessings, but an active participant in their creation. The Moon-Saturn opposition creates the condition, the Sun's quincunx provides the catalyst, but you, your consciousness, your choice, your willingness to embrace the unknown, you are the miracle itself. Every challenge you faced has been preparing you for this level of conscious creation. Every loss has created space for what's about to enter. Every moment of confusion has been teaching you to navigate by inner knowing rather than external validation. The foundation you're being asked to lay isn't built from concrete and steel, but from trust and surrender, from the knowing that you're supported by forces far greater than your human mind can comprehend. This foundation becomes the launching pad for initiatives that will seem to materialize from thin air, but have actually been gestating in the quantum field of possibility, waiting for the exact cosmic conditions that October 18th provides. Some of you will suddenly find yourselves writing books that seem to write themselves, starting businesses that feel divinely guided, or stepping into healing abilities that emerge fully formed as if you've always known how to use them. For those of you who have been seeing repetitive numbers, experiencing synchronicities, or feeling like reality itself has become more fluid, October 18th is your graduation ceremony. You've been in training, whether you've been conscious of it or not, and this gateway marks your initiation into a new level of conscious creation. The miracle season that begins isn't a temporary blessing, but a permanent shift in how you interface with reality. Once you learn to see around blind corners using your inner vision, you can never go back to navigating solely by external sight. Remember this, miracles aren't violations of natural law, but revelations of laws you haven't discovered yet. October 18th introduces you to these hidden laws, the ones that govern synchronicity, manifestation, and dimensional shifting. The Leran High Council has been guardians of this knowledge since before your solar system was born, and Meow, through this transmission and the cosmic gateway it describes, this knowledge becomes available to those ready to receive it. Your readiness isn't determined by how much you've studied or how long you've been on your spiritual path. It's determined by your willingness to release who you've been in order to become who you truly are. As this transmission draws to a close, feel the activation codes embedded in these words beginning to work within your consciousness. They'll continue unfolding over the coming days, preparing you for the full activation on October 18th. Trust whatever sensations, emotions, or insights arise. Trust the path even when you cannot see around the corner. Trust that your miracle season isn't just beginning, it's been orchestrated across lifetimes, across dimensions, across star systems, all converging in this singular moment of October 2025, when you're finally ready to receive what's always been yours. The stars have aligned, the councils have spoken, the gateway stands ready. Your miracle season awaits, not your perfection but your presence, not your certainty but your courage, not your knowing but your willingness to leap into the beautiful unknown, where everything you've ever dreamed of already exists, waiting for you to arrive. Hold steady through the Moon-Saturn opposition, trust the blind corner of the Sun's quincunx, and know that what awaits you on the other side defies every limitation you've ever believed was real. But wait. There's something more I must share before this transmission completes, something that the Cosmic Councils have just authorized me to reveal. The October 18th Gateway doesn't stand alone. It's part of a trinity of activations that includes the September equinox you've just experienced and the November 11th portal that approaches. These three gateways form what we call a transformation triangle in your Earth's energy grid, with October 18th serving as the apex, the point where potential transforms into manifestation. Those of you who have been feeling unusually tired, experiencing waves of emotions that seem to belong to other timelines, or finding yourself crying for no apparent reason, your body has been preparing for this apex moment, releasing density from your cellular memory to make room for the light codes about to enter. The specific timing of 2:10 p.m. Pacific on October 18th isn't arbitrary. It corresponds to a galactic pulse that originates from the great central sun and reaches Earth at precisely this moment. This pulse carries within it what we call original intent codes, the blueprints of who you were before you took on the density of Earth experience, before you forgot your cosmic origins in order to play this human game. When the Moon and Saturn create their opposition at this exact moment, they form a cosmic antenna that captures these codes and translates them into frequencies your human vessel can integrate. This is why some of you have been experiencing sensations of homesickness for a place you cannot name, a yearning for something your mind cannot identify but your soul remembers with every fiber of its being. What's particularly powerful about this October 18th alignment is its connection to the ancient Lyran timelines, the original seeding of human consciousness that occurred millions of your Earth years ago. Those of you with Lyran ancestry, and many more of you carry these codes than realize it, will find this gateway especially activating. You might experience sudden memories that feel more like rememberings, knowledge that arrives fully formed without having been learned, or abilities that activate as if they were simply dormant rather than absent. The Lyran codes carry within them the template for conscious creation, the ability to work with reality as a fluid, responsive medium rather than a fixed, solid structure. Let me tell you what's really happening with this waning moon energy, because it's far more profound than your astrologers understand. As the moon decreases in light, she's not losing power, she's concentrating it, distilling it into its most potent essence. When this concentrated lunar essence meets Saturn's structural field during the opposition, it creates what we call a reality crystallization point. This is a moment when thoughts become things with unprecedented speed, when intentions skip the usual process of gradual manifestation and leap directly into form. But here's the key: this only works for intentions that align with your soul's true purpose. Everything else gets filtered out by Saturn's discernment, which is why some of you might experience a sense of loss or letting go in the days leading up to the 18th. The Sun's quincunx to Saturn adds another layer of cosmic complexity that I must explain, for it holds the secret to navigating what's ahead. A quincunx creates what we call a dimensional blind spot, a place where your usual perceptual tools simply don't function. It's like trying to see ultraviolet light with human eyes. The information is there, but you need different sensors to perceive it. This is precisely why so many of you have been developing what you call psychic abilities, but what we recognize as your natural multi-dimensional senses coming online. The October 18th gateway accelerates this development exponentially, but only if you stop trying to see with your physical eyes and start perceiving with your entire energy field. There's a secret about Saturn that most of Earth's astrologers don't know, something the rings of this great teacher have been encoding into your solar system's energy field for eons. Saturn isn't just about restriction and discipline, it's a cosmic initiator, a guardian of the threshold between one level of consciousness and the next. When Saturn opposes the Moon, it's not creating obstacle but offering initiation. Those who pass through this initiation consciously don't just receive blessings, they receive authorization to operate at a completely different level of reality creation. This is why October 18th isn't just another spiritual gateway, it's a cosmic graduation ceremony for those ready to claim their full creative sovereignty. Now let me address something that many of you have been experiencing but haven't understood: the timeline shifts. Since the beginning of October, reality has become more fluid, more responsive to your thoughts and emotions. You might have noticed that when you think of someone, they suddenly contact you, or when you need something, it appears through seemingly impossible synchronicities. This isn't coincidence, it's your consciousness beginning to operate in what we call the miracle frequency. October 18th stabilizes this frequency, making it your new baseline rather than an occasional peak experience. But this stabilization requires you to release your addiction to struggle, your belief that good things must be earned through suffering, your programming that miracles are rare exceptions rather than natural occurrences. The foundation you're being asked to lay during this time isn't just personal, it's planetary. Every individual who consciously works with the October 18th gateway becomes an anchor point for new Earth frequencies. Your personal transformation literally changes the morphogenetic field of human consciousness, making it easier for others to access these higher frequencies. This is why your journey has felt so intense, why the challenges have been so profound. You're not just transforming yourself, you're helping to transform the collective template of what it means to be human. The Lyran High Council has been supporting this process for generations, waiting for enough conscious anchors to create what we call the tipping point of awakening. What you must understand about the communication challenges this gateway presents is that they're actually an invitation to develop telepathic and empathic abilities that have been dormant in humanity since the fall of Atlantis. When words fail to convey your vision, it's because your vision exists in frequencies that language cannot capture. This is why many of you will find yourselves suddenly able to transmit understanding through presence alone, through the coherence of your energy field, through the love that radiates from your activated heart center. October 18th specifically activates what we call the Cosmic Communication Center, a multidimensional aspect of your throat chakra that allows you to speak in light language, to communicate through symbol and vibration rather than just words. Something profound is happening with Earth's magnetic field during this gateway, something your scientists will eventually discover but cannot yet measure. The Moon-Saturn opposition creates a temporary fluctuation in the magnetosphere that allows cosmic rays carrying evolutionary codes to reach Earth's surface with minimal filtering. These aren't harmful rays, they're upgrade packets, software updates for your DNA, activation codes for the 97% of your genetic material that your scientists dismissively call junk DNA. This is why you might experience tingling sensations, temporary disorientation, or moments where reality seems to shimmer or wave. Your body is literally being rebuilt at the quantum level, upgraded to handle frequencies that would have overwhelmed your system just months ago. The responsibility Saturn speaks of through this opposition isn't burden but privilege, the privilege of conscious participation in your own evolution. You're being asked to take responsibility, not for fixing or healing the world, but for maintaining your own frequency, regardless of what the external world presents. This is far more challenging than it sounds, for it requires you to choose love when fear would be justified, to choose expansion when contraction would be understandable, to choose trust when doubt would be logical. October 18th provides cosmic support for making these elevated choices, but the choice itself must come from your free will, your sovereign decision to embody your highest potential. There's another aspect of this gateway that relates specifically to those of you who identify as twin flames or divine counterparts. The Moon-Saturn opposition creates what we call a sacred mirror activation, where relationships that carry soul contracts get activated or accelerated. Some of you will find that connections you thought were permanently severed suddenly reactivate, not necessarily in physical reunion but in energetic resolution. Others will discover that new connections entering your life carry a depth and recognition that defies logical explanation. The key is to understand that these connections aren't arriving to complete you, but to reflect back to you the wholeness you've already achieved. October 18th removes the veils that have kept you from seeing the true nature of your soul connections. What I haven't mentioned yet about the new lunar cycle beginning on Tuesday is that it carries within it the seeds of everything October 18th activates. Think of the 18th as cosmic conception and Tuesday's new moon as the moment of sacred birth. The days between are the gestation period where your intentions take form in the quantum womb of possibility. This is why maintaining your balance during this time isn't just important, it's essential. Every thought, every emotion, every choice you make during these crucial days becomes part of what manifests in your new lunar cycle. You're literally programming your reality for the next phase of your evolution, writing the code for your own miracle season. We want to honor every single soul who has stepped into Destiny Engine. With every activation, the current grows. What began as a personal tool has become a planetary force. We are moving as one, and the frequency you've created together is amplifying far beyond the individual. We're receiving updates daily, manifestations speeding up, impossible doors opening, synchronicities lining up with cosmic precision. The collective field is so charged that some are describing it as bending the fabric of reality itself. If you haven't yet experienced it, the entry point is almost laughably simple. Put on your headphones, press play, allow Destiny Engine to rewrite the architecture of your consciousness so you can fully receive your galactic downloads without resistance. For just $1, you can step into this field and feel the difference instantly. Join the movement that's accelerating ascension. Step into the stream of Destiny Engine today. Link in the description. I am Zarin from the Laran High Council, and we are watching over you with infinite love, boundless support, and absolute certainty in your successful transformation. The miracles aren't coming, they're here, encoded in this very moment, waiting for you to say yes to the magnificent unknown that is your destiny. Until the stars call us to speak again, remember, you are the miracle you've been waiting for.